Hello, you lovely person, and welcome to the Barely in Awe podcast. This is episode 21, and I am your host, Luke. Why am I even doing this? Well, to be quite honest, it's for the same reason that I wanted to be like a big Cameroonian man named Rainbow. Yeah. I'll get to that later, but put another way, it's kind of like Jungian shadow work, where I am heading towards the things that scare me slightly. And this is scary for me, speaking into a microphone, down the barrel of a microphone. But it's also kind of fun, because I can see how I have improved in just the last 20 episodes. And that's not terribly long. There's a good book by Orson Cleon, spelt with a K. Show Your Work. Wow. This is the second time I'm recording this, and the amount of ums that I had in the first one just... So I'm recording this the second time, and hopefully there will be fewer. But anyway, back to Mr. Cleon. Of sharing your work online, I suppose, because it gives just a little bit of extra pressure, and that little bit of extra pressure is enough for your mind to notice and place emphasis on it, and better strengthen the neuronal connections for next time, you know. So hopefully with some practice and over time, with lots of hard work, I can go from a poor speaker to being merely mediocre. Years ago, there was this guy, giant Cameroonian man, I think he was from Cameroon, named Rainbow. That was his nickname. I don't think I ever knew his real name. He had a giant pot leaf on his back, of all colors of the rainbow. Yeah. But this man had no fear, or at least no fear of heights. He would just walk out on an I-beam, tie his rope, and just abseil down. And I would be standing in a safe place and look down the 11 stories that this I-beam is just jutting out into nothingness, and go, oh, yeah, Rainbow was my hero. He was just such a cool guy. It's amazing how many different personalities you meet in jobs like that, because there are also complete hard asses who are like, I'm not here to make friends, and wouldn't help you out, you know, if your life depended on it almost. They'd use it as a teaching experience for them. It was a truly dangerous environment, to be honest. But I did it because I had a fear of heights. And I did it just as long as it kind of took. I worked it out the other day. I didn't even realize that I had done this, but I worked kind of just as long as it took me to recoup the amount of money that the course to do it took. And yeah, I took what I needed from it. But it was incredibly dirty and dangerous. Like the first few weeks I was spent like degreasing an oil rig. And somebody had died the week before. And, well, they had found his body the week before, and he had been missing for about 10 days. And they had found him floating upside down underneath the boat that is underneath the oil rig. I didn't actually know this, but oil rigs are, well, the boats that raise them, it looks almost like a Lego piece, or an L shape, but on both sides. So like a weird long C shape. And a bracket, I suppose. A bracket. And it would go next to the oil rig and sink a little bit, and go underneath the oil rig, and then pump some water out. And voila, you have an oil rig out of the water. But yeah, nobody had noticed that his car was in the parking lot for 10 days. Nobody noticed that he just didn't pitch for work for 10 days. It was a dangerous place. Ooh. Yeah. Am I still scared of heights? Well, yes and no. I can stand on a counter and feel fine. And it's more about, having the self-awareness that I'm not going to suddenly be hurtling down towards the ground uncontrollably if I focus on what I am doing. And if you've ever been on Reddit for any amount of time, people don't seem to focus on what they're doing in a lot of those kind of videos. But anyway, so the reason I am doing this is also the same reason why a lot of people would rather be in the casket than talking at the funeral. Which probably explains why speaking well is a multiplier skill, a tide that raises all boats in a way. So I'm heading towards it, and to be honest, dead air and things are actually quite scary. Let me tell you a story about when I was suckered into being the lead guitarist for my church. I didn't play for the church band, but people had asked me, and I was like, I don't want to, because I was scared. Actually, I was very scared of playing in front of people. But I could play chords, and I could play a little bit of lead, and I'm not sure why or how, but somebody got me into. They were like, cool, play it this week. And I was like, okay, sure, fine. And I rocked up, and I was waiting for the lead guitarist to rock up, and they didn't. And they had apparently quit the band, and now I was it. The problem was, at least in my mind, is they were literally a professional musician. They were like an award-winning jazz virtuoso, genius musician person. They gave me lessons at points, and now I was supposed to be take their place and play in front of, I think, like 400 or 500 people, and it terrified me. And I did not feel prepared, and I was not prepared as much as I thought. I sucked in the worst way possible. The kind of way where you make it. I remember the one time through a giant, amazing solo. People literally tears in their eyes, hands raised, emotions going wild, and then the very last note getting terribly, terribly wrong. And then 400 or 500 people laughing at you. Yeah. I did make friends with a couple of other people who were in the band, and we started our own little band while still being in the church band. And that band, we got signed to a label, and we got to play some stadium shows and go on tour. That was quite fun. It's fun seeing other people sing your songs. It's not fun seeing yourself on a jumbotron, I discovered. You never look as cool as you think you do when your face is projected 2 stories. Maybe if you're Sting or somebody cool, but yeah. But yeah, so I'm doing this because I'm scared. I want to be like Rainbow, and just walk out onto that I-beam of life, speaking well, and yeah. And just as I did in the church band, I don't feel prepared. I probably am not prepared, and when I least expect it, I'm probably going to screw up terrifically. But if that taught me anything, if I stick with it, who knows? So tell me, what are your fears? What are you scared of? And maybe we can create an adventure and go do them. How is that for good timing? It's like I've done 20 of these. Also, random thing, if you've listened this far, thank you. It turns out, in my country, I'm actually number 2 in the improvisational category, according to iTunes, the iTunes App Store, whatever, which is quite nice. So thank you for listening. And if you like this, share it. And if you don't, then don't. And let me know what you hate. Love you lots. Bye.